के सत्संग में क्या सुनना चाहते हैं, क्या समझना चाहते हैं, किसी को कोई प्रश्न है, किसी के पास कोई टॉपिक है तो
गीता पे सुनने का इच्छा थी मेरी तो। और कैसे अपनी डेली लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंट करूँ,
डेली लाइफ में गीता को कैसे इम्प्लीमेंट करें। चलो कल संडे फीस्ट के लेक्चरों में जा रहे हैं, वहाँ सब गीता की बात होगी तो गीताओं की क्लास वहाँ कर लेंगे। और कोई स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चन हो गीता में से, भागवतम में से कोई टॉपिक हो, चाहे गीता में से ही हो, भक्ति के बारे में, इस्कॉन के बारे में। मेरा नाम अकुर दास है, मैं 1979 से इस्कॉन से जुड़ा हूँ। अब करीब 44 साल हो गए। तो 44 साल पहले बॉटम ऑफ द लाइन एक रेगुलर भक्त की तरह हमारे परिवार इस्कॉन से आके जुड़े और अब इस्कॉन की जो हाईएस्ट बॉडी है जीबीसी बॉडी, उसमें हमारी सेवाएं हर साल में 2 बार जीबीसी मीटिंग वगैरह सब जगह जाते हैं। तो इस्कॉन को एक दूसरे पर्सपेक्टिव से भी जानते हैं, समझते हैं। तो इस्कॉन के बारे में कोई प्रश्न हो, भक्ति के बारे में हो।
प्रभु जी, महाराज बच्चे हैं, उन लोगों को हिंदी ज़्यादा समझ में नहीं आता।
अच्छा।
तो कभी कभी अंग्रेज में भी 1-2 सेंटेंस बोले तो इनको समझ में आ जाए।
ठीक है, मुझे भी हिंदी बोलना ज़्यादा कठिन होता है। English flows much better. But if they have any questions, we would like to take.
But before, so I'm from Meerut, UP, and Prabhuji is doing a lot of work in our area, from Delhi, Ghaziabad, Noida, Meerut, all those things. Even we took it to the Krishna name in the villages, you know. Like so many people, motivating so many people, taking people to pilgrimage, all these things. And I've been watching on YouTube, you know. So I was very inspired. I contacted Prabhuji. Prabhuji said, okay, you call me anytime, I'll come. So we find time and he's here. So I'm so happy, you know.
Yeah,
So simple, so nothing like, you know, anytime you just call and he was here and then just we all take advantage of his visit, you know. But and many of you, I know you guys here, and you also are very thankfully here because of in COVID, I seen many things shut down, many things, you know. But I know some of the people never close anything. You know? That Mangal Arati means 3:30 you wake up in the morning and maybe early and do Mangal Arati, you know. Swami is one of them. I'm sure many of you have done that. That's I'm really so thankful when everybody was afraid. People were afraid of each other, right? You know, they're not going anywhere, you know. And I was just shocked. I said, are you really doing this? Yeah. That's a real test, you know, for a pure devotee. And I'm so thankful they are here. You know, so that's great people, you know. Everybody is like so amazing, you know, that COVID did not change them at all, you know. So I'm very thankful for
all kinds of new realizations.
How do you motivate in the small town to jump Krishna's name?
How do
How do
you
you tell them so they get connected to you? Not to you, like to Krishna.
How to encourage people, motivate them to chant holy name?
It's a small home program, a kind of pattern that we follow in India, in all the Muslim countries, Middle East. We do small home programs, and we invite people to come and do some kirtan together, chant one round of japa together, and in that way the program grows to hundreds of families, homes, like all the Middle Eastern countries, Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, Bahrain. We have no temple, but we have hundreds of these programs going, small home programs, getting together on a regular basis, sit down and maybe read one page of Bhagwat Geeta, or we give you a program already made. It's called the Bhakti Vraksha program. Bhakti Vraksha program has modules. So in that module there's one or two paragraphs of information that you read, and then you discuss together, okay, what do you understand from this? What do you take from this? What is it that you don't understand from this? And kind of share. Here in America, you must have heard about something called Bible study program.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, very common thing here.
Very common.
Mm.
So this is exactly the same.
Mm.
This is Gita study program. Get 6 to 8 people together, study a little paragraph, and discuss. So by reading, nobody understands anything. Some very highly intellectual people reading Bhagavad Gita once will understand a lot, but most people don't understand. But whatever little they understand, they say out of their mouth, and everybody hears. And then somebody else will pick up something else they say. So you pass the ball around like that. At the end of it, everybody will understand most of everything that's in there. Simple program. Bhagwat Gita, Quran, Bible, they're all very, very extremely complicated. And Bhagwat Gita, out of all of them, is the most understandable. Srila Prabhupada has given us purports. So we study from the purports. And as we discuss the matter, it opens up in our heart, it opens up in our mind. And we start to understand, okay, kaha kya jana hai. Otherwise, you're reading the Bhagavad Gita alone. For very many people, it's a good medicine to fall asleep. My father had the Bhagavad Gita memorized at the age of 8. And he had it was his hobby. So the first time he got hold of a Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, he started reading at 10 p.m. at night. And instead of falling asleep, he actually awakened. By 5 a.m. the next morning, the whole night, he had read the whole Bhagavad Gita cover to cover. But he was a different kind of person. We are not like that. Bhagavad Gita, reading of the Bhagavad Gita does not awaken us, it puts us to sleep. But if we study it, to discuss it, and we actually sit down and discuss it, that will really work. In the whole world, there is so much Christianity. How did they do it? With this Bible. that makes no sense to nobody. But they still study it, discuss it, get something out of it, and engage people in that discussion. So, you get together, chant one round of japa. Only Shraddhavan people will come, not everybody. Many people will come, many will drop out, some will stay. Because even in front of Srila Prabhupada, so many people were dropping out. And Srila Prabhupada was asked by one of his disciples, we get so many people. They come and they hear you, they like you, they like what they hear. We give them prasadam, they really like it, appreciate it, but they don't come back. What are we doing wrong? Srila Prabhupada said, you're not doing anything wrong. Be amazed at how many will come back, don't be amazed at how many will not come back. Be amazed at the number who will be coming back. Why? Because we are teaching the dharma of Satyug in Kalyug. When you teach the dharma of Satyug in Kalyug, it's like opening a diamond shop, high-class diamonds you are selling in the mall. Will you expect a lineup of people? That we open it in the morning and there will be lineup of people to, okay, we want to see your diamonds. No. Very little customers will be, very small base. And not everybody who will come will be a buyer. Not everybody who will go to a diamond shop will come out with a diamond. Very little. So, in the Kali Yuga, there is a current flowing this way, like in the river, this way. And if you are going in the same direction as the current, you can make a lot of progress. That's why there is so much Islam, so much Christianity, so many other nonsense. In India, everywhere else, so much of other nonsense. By nonsense, what I mean is here today, gone tomorrow, don't really have a philosophy, don't really have a scripture that they are based on. They have nothing, but they will preach and they will have line of people. Why? They will tell you things like, we can make you God. We can give you good health. We can give you a formula to live 100 years. There's so many people call themselves spiritual today, only talk about well-being of the body. How many people are interested in well-being of the body? Everybody. Why? Because everybody knows or thinks or understands body I am. But none of these people are talking about the soul, which is real me. The soul, very easy to neglect, does not run after you to stop you from going in the wrong direction. Nothing. Body will backfire. You don't look after the body will give you a headache, pain here, difficulty here because you're not looking after the body. But the soul doesn't do anything like that. So for that reason, you do any of these things that tell you about, okay, how to live peacefully, how to live stress-free, how to become, low anxiety, how to treat your body, how to have a good relation with other people. Everybody is interested. But when you say how to have a good relation with the Supreme Lord who made you, not so many. People are more interested. There is an example of who gave me a nose pin. Not so interested on knowing about who gave me the nose to put the nose pin in. What is the point of a nose pin if I don't have a nose? So I don't care about the creator who gave me the nose, but I care about the little person who gave me a little nose pin. So much. I'm so much careful about that person who gave me the little nose pin. Don't care about the person who gave me the nose. It's reality today. The materialism is so much that people are only interested in materials. Spirituality, not so many takers, but there are, everywhere, there are some people who are interested. It's not that, the mainstream is not. You may not get lineups to the end of the mosque here, but you will get something. ISKCON is growing. All of you who moved to America are helping ISKCON grow in India. Prabhuji made a temple in Saharanpur. Mataji is interested in preaching in Kajipur, Saharanpur, Barsigaon. You are interested in helping out in Meerut. So, and then from India there is so much influx of our youth who we trained up a little bit in Krishna consciousness over there, and they are finding jobs over here. So they come and they bring in their vigor, their knowledge, their enthusiasm to get involved in Krishna consciousness. So somehow all of this is got to meet more and more manthan, and more will come out. So the magic is in small home programs on a regular basis. Invite just a few people and discuss. A little bit of kirtan, a little bit of discussion, and then chant one round of japa. One time what happened, I tell you a very interesting story. We were training one Mataji, her name was Madhu, and she was very enthusiastic, and at night she worked as a security guard. So where she was working as a security guard, she had a supervisor. So she had nobody. We were enthusing her to become Krishna conscious, preach Krishna consciousness, and so on and so forth. And being a night security guard, she had no interaction with people, and she wanted to preach. So she started to try to preach to her supervisor. Now this supervisor was actually himself a preacher. He was an Indian, he was a Hindu, he was himself a preacher who was not preaching to her, but she went to preach to him. And he was a Paramatmavadi. Paramatmavadis, they, in a way, they accept God, but they only accept the Paramatma form of God.
Nirakar?
You can say Nirakar. Their Paramatmavadis are very similar to Nirakar. They accept Paramatma, which is form of Krishna only. We accept Paramatma, but we're not Paramatmavadis. We accept Paramatma. So, Paramatmavadis, the difficulty with all these people is when they accept one form, they reject all the others. And the right thing about us is because Krishna says in the Bhagwat Geeta, the Brahma Jyoti is coming from me. So we can't reject the Brahma Jyoti. We cannot say Brahma Jyoti is not worshipable. We don't discard the Brahma Jyoti. And Krishna says Paramatma is also me. So we accept the Paramatma. And Krishna says Bhagwan is also me. And when Arjuna asks, which form should I worship? Worship me. Manmana manvata. Bhoktaram yajna tapasam. In so many ways, he clearly says that although there are three bona fide forms, realizations of the same Supreme, but the most worshipable is the Bhagavan. So the Paramatmavadis or Brahmavadis. Brahmavadis are the ones who believe in Brahma Jyoti. Nothing wrong with believing in Brahma Jyoti. But then they reject the Paramatma and they reject Bhagavan. So, Srila Prabhupada calls them offenders. If I accept your house, I accept everything that's here, but I don't accept you. Is that offensive? It's very offensive. I accept your kitchen, I accept your house, I accept your car, but not you.
Another thing is
That-
how you get that energy. Like you have a house, you have a family, you have everything, just like everybody else. Everybody else says we are busy, but I see you take 6 months going to India and doing all the work and then spending your own thing, how you get this energy?
No, I was telling you about this Mataji. So she went to preach to this Paramatmavadi. And he was a preacher himself. So he defeated her with her arguments. So she comes back. So I tried to preach to somebody, and he said so and such and such and such. So we trained her up again, not knowing what we are up against. We trained her up again that no, if he says so and so, you go and say so and so. So it went on for a while. It was a Bhakti Vriksha program. It only met once a week. So after several weeks of going back and forth, I found out that this guy is no regular person on the street who doesn't know so much about Dharma. This guy is an expert. He is coming up with such expert things to defeat our philosophy. So I said, there's nothing more we can do. Why don't you do this thing that let's hold a program at your place and you just invite him to come. So she did that. He came. His wife came also. So in the end of the, we tried to explain whatever, and when I speak, I scan. I look at everybody, and I keep scanning. So every time I looked at him, it was like he wasn't even in the room. He was completely phased out. That I'm not going to listen to whatever this guy says. I'm just here for social purpose, and I'm just going to go home. Not going to listen to him at all. When it came time, at the end, okay, give everybody a mala, we will all chant one round of japa together. He was sitting on a sofa up there. He took the mala right away. He put it on his hand. Didn't even hold the mala. He didn't want to. And he was up on the sofa, and he was okay. But his wife was sitting down there in the middle of all the women. Although she saw him do that, but she couldn't do it. She wanted to follow her husband, she couldn't do it. Because peer pressure, there was all the women looking at me from all angles. So just to show, she went through and chanted the round of japa. So everything is done. I have no hope. This guy was not listening. And what do you tell somebody who is not willing to listen? So ends the argument. But this woman, his wife, keeps calling Madhu. What did you do to me, Madhu? What was that mantra? What was that thing? It's not going out of my mind. I can't take it out of my mind. It's like gone in, and it's like stuck. All night I was chanting, all night. And I am so afraid that it may come out in front of my husband, and that's it. That will be the end of my marriage, because I know how strongly he is against you guys. He gave me this mantra. I can't. So it's a relationship of that Paramatma with this little Atma. So Paramatma grabbed her Atma. He's not letting go. What can you do? You can bring horse to the water. You cannot make the horse drink the water, can you?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Nobody can make the horse drink the water. The most you can do is bring the horse to the water. So, before that actual incident, I used to also think that maybe we do make devotees. Maybe we do preach to people. Maybe we do bring people into Krishna consciousness. That day, I became completely sure it's not me. I can't do it. Krishna grabbed this woman, and he's not letting go. He's just not letting go. And there are so many people outside. No matter how much you give them Krishna Naam, there is no effect on them. Krishna doesn't accept them. So, somehow or the other, we just expose people to Krishna consciousness, expose them to the holy name, and that is what is going to do the trick. It's not me, it's not you, it's nothing else. Krishna is going to do it. All we have to do is facilitate. If we facilitate, it will happen. Have faith, firm faith, pray, and facilitate. Krishna will grab those Atmas who are eligible, who are acceptable, who have some pious karma, who are somewhat right, who have some good fortune. Otherwise, we think fortune means more money, more fortune. It's not more money, more fortune. What will the money do? How many people in United States died from corona? Is it all the poor who died? So many people had so much money and so much resource. Everything, the best was available. They still died. That money, that resource, living in United States of America and having so much facility, nothing saved them. Nothing saved them. Krishna took them. Corona took them. And we keep thinking that this materialism is what is good fortune. This is what is going to make us more fortunate. This is how we're going to make our life sublime, and spend the whole life collecting all this material, and one day just drop everything and go. We spent the whole life collecting this fortune that couldn't do anything for us. And we're going to leave it. To who? Do they deserve it? Many times, people inappropriately take wealth from other people. Cheat, deceit, fraud, this, that. So many lifetimes. Cheat other people to fill up their own pocket. And then these people, by Krishna's arrangement, are given birth at your own home. Now, you are handing them over everything. Here is my wife, here is my daughter, here is my bank balance, here is my house, you take everything. What do you do? Many times, these are people in previous births we have stolen from, inappropriately taken things from. They take birth in our own home, or somehow get in relation with us, and we just give it all. I'm not saying this. I have no way of knowing or saying this. But according to the Shastra, that is what happens. We steal from somebody or inappropriately take this, that, and the other thing, their property, whatever, and we have to pay back. Very happy to pay back. Like Kansa killed 6 of Devaki's sons. We all know. He killed 6 of Devaki's sons. Who were these people? According to the Bhagavatam, Kansa was Kalnemi in the previous life. And these were his own grandchildren. And he cursed them. So they took birth from Devaki's womb in the next life, and he killed them. It's karma rolling. Of course, there's another explanation that you heard before, that there is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. So inside of these are 6 bad qualities. So the inside of Devaki's womb had to be cleaned of all these 6 things in the form of all these 6 children, so that Balram and Krishna could get in. But Srila Prabhupada in the Bhagavatam also connected the previous life system. That Kalnemi actually in the form of Kansa killed his own grandchildren, thinking that I'm killing the children of Vasudeva. But he's killing his own. So somehow or the other, if we expose people to Krishna consciousness in a small setting, you will develop some kind of group. Then you expand, because this kind of thing does not happen too far. People will not come from too far. In the neighborhood, in one area, then you expand to the next area. If you go and preach in the next area, there's other people who will come, who will not come here. So this is how the Bible study program works. This is how our Bhakti Vriksha is working everywhere, even in the Muslim countries. In the Muslim countries, you're not allowed to go and preach. You can't even go here. You can go door to door and knock if you want. But in the Muslim countries, you can't do that. So our devotees go quietly and look around what kind of plants are there. So when they find that there is a tulsi plant here, they get some hope that, okay, we can knock on this door.
He can knock the door.
So even having a tulsi plant is no guarantee that this person will be interested, but at least there is
You have a hope.
some hope.
Yes.
A little hope is there. So there are so many. This is a free country, free world. Preaching here should be so much easier. We can do whatever that we can't do in the rest of the world. It is just effort, initiative. And wherever devotees are doing this, they're having good results. Young families are coming from India. Many of them are already exposed to Krishna consciousness. somebody. They just need somebody to lead them a little bit. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of goodwill. They will connect with you and add a lot of energy to your program, a lot of effort to the program, and before you know it. So everything starts with a little initiative and go from there.
Now my question was how you get that energy, so having family, having everything. We all have 24 hours, right? Nobody has more than 1 minute.
Me?
Yeah, but you do a lot of maintain yourself, you have a house, your family, your business, and then you have so much energy to devote in this one.
I don't think I do nearly enough. I think I should do a lot more. I think I am slack. I think I'm doing too little. But whatever it is Krishna's mercy and initiative.
So even Meerut, where the temperature is like 50 degree almost, and the small streets and so much crowd and leaving Vancouver and leaving behind Vancouver comfort and going in those small streets and suns, the June all month. I don't know how you
It
do
is the enthusiasm of the devotees that keeps you going. So that's why it is said that sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kahe, love matra sadhu sangha. So as we congregate together with so many other like-minded devotees, the energy does not add up, it multiplies. So sometimes I find that I am almost having a second thought about going to the kirtan because my body is not so ready to move. And once I go on the ground, I'm going there non-stop, sometimes three hours, walking, singing, chanting, and enthusing others at the same time.
Yeah.
And I asked them that, what made you so enthusiastic? They look at me, and I'm looking at them. So it's a give and take.
And you have to be all the time right because everybody watching you, So
Yeah.
I can sit down here, I can take a nap, But when you're leader, you have to be right all the time.
आपके बार आप इनके साथ चले जाइए
Jana, that's what I'm asking, Jana. I have
तभी
to go
आपको
and see.
ये पता चल
Yeah, how you
जाएगा and then you will
manage.
feel good
Yeah.
and won't come back here
How much, so much temperature, so much heat, and everybody, bicycle, scooter, and all these things. I see YouTube and I just say, how you do it,
Enthusiasm. गुरु महाराज का आशीर्वाद है, शिल प्रभुपाद की मर्सी, चैतन्य महाप्रभु की, जब आप लोगों को लेके सड़क पर जाते हो तो the energy comes from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because that's his program. We do street sankirtan. Street sankirtan is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's program. You see devotees jumping up and down, and everybody in Washington. I saw just on July 4th, Anutama Prabhu posted this video of dozens of devotees doing kirtan and hundreds of other people looking at these devotees as if these are crazy people. Hundreds of others just looking at these devotees as if they're crazy. Is any of the devotees affected by that? No. They don't care. You think we're crazy? It's okay. We are crazy because we are following Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you think we are really crazy, we don't mind. And actually, we think you are too, because you are not joining us, not taking advantage of chanting the holy name of the We think you are crazy. Although we are too blissful to look at you as if you are crazy. तो उसको कहा जाता है कि जो कृष्ण भक्ति में है वो पागल है, जो नहीं है वो उससे ज्यादा पागल है। जैसे ये नए बाबा जी हुए हैं, बागेश्वर वाले बाबा जी, हाँ, धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री क्या, तो वो अपने आगे आए हुए सब लोगों को पागल कहते हैं। तो बहुत अच्छा है,
अच्छा है ना।
पागल ही है।
अभी
वो
केजरीवाल
पागल ही
की
होगा
अर्जी निकाल दी
जो
उसने।
इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में पैसे के पीछे भागने के बजाय उनके प्रोग्राम में आके बैठ रहा है। कोई उनको कोई पे नहीं कर रहा कि हाँ जी आप आओ यहाँ यहाँ आके बैठो, आपको 500 रुपये मिलेंगे। आज के ज़माने में कौन फ्री में कुछ करना चाहता है? हर किसी को ये है, जाऊँगा तो क्या मिलेगा, व्हाट विल आई गेट, व्हाट इज माई पेमेंट। लेकिन उनसे ज़्यादा पागल वो है जो आ नहीं रहे। सत्संग का मौका मिल रहा है, मैं नहीं कह रहा कि आप सब जाके धीरेन्द्र शास्त्री के सत्संग में जाओ, जो कुछ भी है।
अच्छा ही कर रहा है।
हाँ, तो
सनातन धर्म।
हाँ, सनातन धर्म का तो प्रचार कर रहा है। तो सत्संग का मौका मिलते हुए भी आप जो नहीं आ रहे वो महापागल तो वो है। और ज्यादा पागल आने वाले तो पागल है ही। वो दूसरे तरीके से पागल है, दूसरे तरीके से पागल है।
Swamiji, I wanted to take this opportunity to find out on behalf and from actually from the young people. They are the ones who go to school, colleges. What questions do they encounter from their classmates or teachers, and how do they respond to that? Or is it something that Prabhuji can provide input in that regard? I think it would be nice to hear something about that from
See,
the young.
it reminds me of a question that Srila Prabhupada was asked. Srila Prabhupada was asked, क्योंकि क्या है कि the Christians are saying Jesus, Jesus, God, God. The Muslims are saying Allah, Allah. We are saying whatever, Krishna, Ram. Which one of us has actually seen anything? So, at the end of the life, we may find out, you may find out, that there was no Krishna. Then what? So Srila Prabhupada said, okay, we accept you right. Let's say at the end of the life, we find out that there was no Krishna. It was all hoax. But still, we spent a very good life, blissful, chanting, dancing, honoring prasadam, doing the right thing, being a gentleman, law-abiding citizens, the list goes on. But those of you who don't think there is Krishna, when you find out at the end of the life that there is Krishna, what will you do? I had my 6-year-old playing at home after the birthday party, and this other 6-year-old from across the street, among so many other children, found out for the first time that my son didn't eat meat. He said, "What? You don't eat meat?" I don't know where he got the question, the 6-year-old. He said, "What if there is no vegetables to eat in this world? Will you die of hunger?" And I thought my son will now turn to me, but he didn't. He said to him straightforward, "Yes, I'd rather die of hunger than eat meat."
Very nice.
Not going to give up my principle just to maintain my life. What is the point of living if I have to live on eating meat?
If when there are no vegetables, eventually there are no animals to eat either. So we know what happens when famines take place. We see this happening in Africa all the time.
Yeah.
Right now there
Pakistan.
are wars going on, there are battles going on, people are dying.
Yeah.
It's not because of lack of vegetable or meat. Most of the time when these things happen, all are dying. Even people are dying, animals are dying. at the same time.
Yeah, some people say that some are directly vegetarian, others are indirectly vegetarian.
Yeah, that's right.
Because animal has to eat vegetables in order they can eat.
Yes.
And
So they will die first.
Yeah. They are feeding on
Yeah.
the animals that eat vegetables.
Mm.
They don't live on eating non-veg animals.
And some people I
They
think
feed
not
on-
even allowed.
Huh?
Some religion not even allowed to eat certain animal. Those are meat eater.
Yeah.
They just allow only those are vegetable eaters.
Yes.
Yeah.
So all the calcium that you can get from the milk, where does that come from? People say, "Oh, it comes from cow." No, it comes from the grass. Because the cow
Yeah.
made it by eating that grass. So that calcium actually came from the grass. So you can have that calcium from the grass, or you can have it from the cow's milk, or you can cut up the cow and eat cow's flesh and then get the. But what is more civilized? And what carries the least karma?
Mm.
That is a intelligent thing to do. So this world is flowing in that direction, the river current that we were talking about. Everybody is going there. So our children naturally flow,
Yes.
want to flow, and it's easy
Mhm.
to just go with the flow. Doesn't take any rocket science, just go with the flow. So right from the beginning, they have to be taught.
My son, grandson, he's 4, and when he went to goes to school, so he tells them, "I'm a vegetarian,
Yeah.
no meat, no egg," and he's only 4.
I am different, and I should not have any embarrassment
Yes.
telling people that I'm different.
Mhm.
So what? That's how I am.
अभी तो vegan बन गए लोग,
हाँ,
vegetarian
मेरा
के
son-
बाद
my
में
son
वो
is a vegan.
vegan, right?
Yeah.
So many vegan actually. So many people turn.
So nobody should have, we should not be embarrassed
Yes.
of what we are.
Yeah.
We should be thankful, in a way, proud that
Yes.
this is how I am, this is what I am. I am not the same as everybody on the field. In America, this is appreciated. There used to be a time when I came to America, people would look down at you. for being
Mhm.
vegetarian.
Yes.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Yeah. Right away, they would say, "Oh, what do you eat? Carrots?"
Yes, I know.
Is there nothing else except carrots? You don't see anything. What, you eat like a rabbit?
So there was a question,
So I was
how
newly
you can
starting.
get protein. So my question or answer was, till today, in engineering and all, we measure power is horsepower.
Horsepower.
And horse is powerful,
Yeah.
right? So, but the horse eat vegetables. So when the symbol of the power is horse, then that survive without meat. So I think that's
And elephant.
elephant, all the big cows, bull, all these things. Right. So there's no question.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else? You know, you will finish like 1 o'clock.
You should be proud
Yeah,
Right.
we
that
are
you're
actually
vegetarian.
very
I'm
fortunate that most of these scientists, research scientists are Indians.
Mhm.
And the scientist was saying that he used to eat meat until he realized in his own research, he was just going hair chop.
Yeah.
He realized by his own research that the body has the capacity to extract the nutrients from the food you eat. It will take what it needs and it will discard what it doesn't need. It doesn't matter what kind of food you put in, it doesn't recognize it. The body is the tongue that is causing all the problems. It's in the food itself. Whether you put sugar in it or salt in it or any spices in it, or eat this or eat that, doesn't matter. It will take, the body will extract the minerals and nutrients it needs. It's not looking for this kind of food or that kind of food. Prabhuji probably can shed more greater light on that, but he says he gave up all of that stuff immediately and he started eating simple food, just as they explain in Ayurveda.
I met a friend of a friend in San Francisco, and he said, "What food you eat, what effect could that have on your consciousness or on your body?" So I said, when you have a headache, you take a little pill in your mouth and goes in your stomach, but it cures your headache. He was a top class software engineer, came from a very, very educated family, just absolutely brilliant, gold medalist at everything that he's ever done, and doesn't understand the simple thing. When I gave him the example of the headache pill, right away, it clicked to him. Right away. It didn't take 1 second, clicked to him right away. The educated people, when they find logic to defeat them, they accept it. Educated person will accept that. They are ready and willing to accept. In a way, they are ready and willing to accept defeat. The one who is not so educated, not so intelligent, will still keep speculating. No, maybe there is something else. Maybe, okay, if I'm wrong, but maybe he's wrong too. Maybe there is something else. But one who is intelligent, right away. So, most people that came to Srila Prabhupada in the beginning, very, very highly intelligent. In India, with our youth preaching, everywhere we're meeting, very, very intelligent. They know what they're doing. Brilliant. That's why they accept Krishna consciousness, because they have seen that there is no logic in anything else and everything else that we have spent our life studying in the books. They tell us it's science, everything is based on reason. They still are not able to explain to us that this earth is rotating and floating in the sky. Who's doing it? They are okay to say, okay, yeah, this is happening. But why? How? Who's causing it? Oh, there's nobody behind it. Oh, yeah? Nobody behind it. You can't keep this up in the air. The whole earth. One day I was giving a class. It was in Meerut only. So we were in a big pandal program. It was what is called the Bhaisali. Bhaisali.
Right.
Bhaisali.
Yes.
So many new people came. And after I gave the Krishna lifting the Govardhan Hill Katha, I encouraged people to ask questions. So after several times, me repeating that I want somebody to come and ask a question, this young man came forward. And he said to me, Prabhuji, you look like you are educated. Yes, somewhat.
Educated people don't do this. Oh.
So, like he's trying to tell me that you are not one of those pandajis. And do you still believe that Krishna would have lifted the Govardhan hill? So I understood his mind. कि ये कह रहा है कि एक लॉजिकल रीजनेबल एजुकेटेड व्यक्ति होते हुए आप कैसे मान सकते हो कि हमसे एक हफ्ते के लिए अपने शरीर का वजन उठाया नहीं जाएगा, अपने शरीर का 10% नहीं उठाया जाएगा। एक हफ्ते लेके खड़े रहना है, अपने शरीर का 10% लेके खड़े हो जाओ, हमसे नहीं होगा। और ये पूरा का पूरा हिल उठा के खड़े। तो मैंने उसको कहा कि हाँ, you find it hard to believe? Yes. I said, then how do you believe that the earth is rotating like that? Who has lifted up the earth? It is the same person by whose mind the earth and all the planets are being controlled and going where they are going.
Yeah, many.
You think he can't even lift one hill out of this? What is the Govardhan hill? It's nothing compared to the whole earth and so many other planets.
Yeah,
What is the Govardhan hill?
Yeah, Earth is not the biggest one. Earth is the smallest one. There is much bigger one. So many floating in the whole universe. You know? Yeah.
उन सब के आगे वो गोवर्धन हिल क्या? कुछ भी नहीं। So people think that their books have taught them logic, but they have taught them mythology. That is mythology. What is in your book? That the man came from monkeys is mythology. They are telling us the mythology is God created us. This is mythology. Science is we came from the monkeys. This little 6-year-old girl asks his mom, Mom, is it true that we came from the monkeys? The mom says no. God created us. She said, I asked Dad yesterday. He said, we came from the monkeys. Mom said he's talking about his side of the family. My side of the family was created by God.
Oh my God.
Very nice.
Srila Prabhupada said, those who came from monkeys believe that we come from monkeys. We did not come from monkeys, so we don't believe that we came from. We did not come from monkeys. God created us. So, in other words, the believers, there's believers and non-believers. All the Christians are also believers.
प्रभु जी
So
टाइम
the
के हिसाब से ना मैं सोच रहा था 1 o'clock कर दें पहले कि थोड़ा कीर्तन करें
हो गया वहाँ पर
प्रभु जी
10
बहुत
मिनट
अच्छा कीर्तन करते
हाँ
हैं
तो थोड़ा
Yeah, yeah.
कीर्तन
आप
करें
कीर्तन बहुत अच्छा करते हो थोड़ा कीर्तन कर
बस
दीजिए
उसके बाद है ना
कर देता हूँ। तो अच्छी तरह से खूब मृदंग बजाने के आ जाओ आप ढोल की नहीं
बजाओ,
करेंगे
कौन
क्या
बजाए?
करेंगे?
मृदंग है
आप तो जाते हो।
यही है बस
मृदंग है भी जो कोई बजाएगा